Hey everybody, this is Crystal and welcome back to More Natural Every Day. So today I want to start a three-part series that I'm calling The Real Price of Beauty. And we'll be talking about soaps and lotions, moisturizers, that kind of thing today. So we hear a lot of conversation around environmental toxins and being more green, and we talk about clean eating and detoxifying our systems. Like it seems that we're focusing on the world around us and then what we're taking into our mouths, but we're missing a very important piece of the puzzle, which is the barrier that our bodies have between the world um, and our internal organs, which is actually our largest organ, our skin. So it's our largest organ, and as an organ, it absorbs toxic substances. And unfortunately, skincare products can be full of harmful ingredients, toxins, and chemicals, along with many other products that are mass produced, like household cleaning products, storage containers, and all that. Like they can all have a lot of synthetic ingredients that wind up causing us more harm than good. So, how can we avoid skincare ingredients that can do us harm but still maintain our clean and glowing and moisturized skin? That's exactly what we're going to talk about today. I'll do some more in-depth product reviews down the line, but in our journey to be more natural every day, I wanted to give us a starting point. So I'm going to share some of my basic guidelines for when you're looking for skincare products. This is what I think about when I'm looking for skincare products. So you want to follow similar rules to that which you would use for a healthy diet. You want to look for unprocessed ingredients. You're looking for things that like no harsh chemicals or anything artificial. And basically, like I said in my first video when I talked about what natural is, the closer to nature that you can get, the better. So unfortunately, even when dealing with natural skincare products, sometimes there are some ingredients that can be considered harmful, but it's really just about if something doesn't look right to you or it's not something that you readily identify, then look it up. We all have these things attached to us when we're at the store. And I have no problem looking up an ingredient right there on the spot if I need to. If it's a long list of things or if I'm in a hurry, I am shameless in taking a photo of the product label and then the ingredient statement so I can look it up later on at home. But anyway, a lot of the ingredients that you'll find in skincare products that are considered toxic, or even fragrances and that kind of thing, they can cause a range of issues from hormonal problems, irregular periods, ladies, infertility, allergies, and even cancer. So it's something that we need to take seriously, especially, again, considering that our skin is our largest organ. And there are well over 3,000 approved ingredients for personal care products. Unfortunately, skincare, personal care is not highly regulated. So I can't get into all of them, but I will highlight a few to avoid, and then I'll show you some of the stuff that I've been using on my more natural journey. So parabens, you might have heard or even seen on labels that say like no parabens. That's one of the ones they like to highlight on labels for products that don't have them. It's a preservative that can prevent the growth of bacteria, mold, and yeast, which sounds good, but they also possess estrogen mimicking properties that are associated with an increased risk of breast cancer. So they can be absorbed through the skin and then have actually been identified in biopsy samples from breast tumors. Not cool. So you definitely want to avoid parabens. Fortunately, a lot of products, even mainstream product lines, are removing parabens from their ingredient list, but they are still out there. So you want to avoid those. Synthetic colors and fragrances, Those are a couple to avoid. Also, sodium lauryl sulfate, or you might say it as sodium laureth with an ETH at the end, sulfate. They can be known to be skin, lung, and eye irritants. But the major concern with those is that they have a potential to interact with and combine with like other chemicals to form, I think it's called nitro something. Nitrosamines, I think, and that it's a carcinogen. So they can actually combine and form this carcinogen, and then they can lead to other problems like kidney and respiratory damage. And those you'll find in a lot of products. Toluene, which it might be labeled as benzene, toluol, methylbenzene, but it's a solvent that actually can dissolve paint, and you will find it in skincare products as well. So it can affect your respiratory system, can cause nausea, irritate your skin. Expectant mothers should definitely avoid it, even if the vapors are in the air, because they can cause damage to the fetus. And they've been linked to immune system toxicity. So those are definite no-nos. And then there's BHA, which is actually butylated hydroxyanisole, and it is it can cause skin depigmentation, liver damage, stomach cancers, have been shown in animal studies, and they can also have seen studies where it interferes with normal reproductive system development and thyroid hormone levels. And then there's polyethylene, which can be found in a lot of scrubs and body washes, even toothpaste. And then those little beads that you find in a lot of exfoliating body washes and soaps can actually be made from polyethylene, because they're an exfoliant, but they're more gentle than the natural stuff, so nutshells and things like that. And the U.S. government actually considers them to be a probable human carcinogen, and they readily penetrate into the skin. So they're considered a carcinogen. They can readily penetrate into the skin, but they are approved for use in skin care products. That's why we have to do our research. Also, the beads in the scrubs and the body washes, they're not filtered by our sewer system, so they can actually collect in pollutants and then travel into the waterways, and they can be consumed by fish and other marine animals and cause environmental problems as well. So those are some big ones to definitely avoid that you will see often on labels. There are a couple others that you might want to look into a little bit more. The court's still out on them. So there's propylene glycol, which there's debate on whether it's actually toxic or not, but there's not sufficient data to support either side. So it can be a skin irritant, especially if used around the eyes. But again, not a lot of data on it. I would recommend that you look it up, propylene glycol. If you have any concerns or if you've noticed any irritation from products that have it, absolutely avoid it. But you can look that one up to decide yourself if you want to use products that have that one. And then there's another one, I think it's pronounced Phenoxyethanol. So this one is definitely a problem, but mainly only for certain populations. So it can cause allergies, nervous system problems in infants, and it can exacerbate eczema. But again, the vulnerable populations for that one is really people that are allergic to it, and breastfeeding infants. So if you have infants, if you're a breastfeeding mom, you definitely don't want to wear or use any products that have Phenoxyethanol. That's it. Because, you know, your baby can nibble on you and ingest it, and it can cause nervous system problems. So obviously avoid it altogether if you can. If you're pregnant, breastfeeding, you have a small child, absolutely avoid it. And again, for any ingredient, if you're allergic to it, then obviously it's going to cause problems. But I just wanted to note those. And remember, the aim isn't necessarily perfection, but if we can, in our journey to be more natural every day, take steps in the right direction by choosing our products more carefully, then that's obviously going to improve your risk for toxicity issues. So, alright, so I have decided to break this video into 2 parts. So definitely check out part B if you want to see some of the products that I've been using since I decided to reduce my toxic exposure. So this would have been since fall of 2017. I will put a link in the comments below the video so that it'll make it easy for you to find. So again, definitely check that out if you want to see some really inexpensive and easy swaps that you can make today. Also, I'll put all of those naughty ingredients that I referenced in the comments. And if you have had any toxic or toxicity issues from any of the ingredients that I mentioned today, please share those in the comments. We would love to be able to hear your story and also offer any support that we can and into your journey and like how you've or why you've decided to maybe go a little bit more natural every day than you were before. So that's it for me on this one. If you felt like this video was informative, please help others find it by giving it a thumbs up. And as always, if you want to make sure that you get notified of future videos from me, go on and hit that subscribe button below. All right, thanks for stopping by. See ya.